In this video, I will show you how to use the Fornite editor from the very beginning. I will take you step by step and show you how to use Unreal Engine, how to navigate, how to place objects, how to create your own worlds, how to play your game, how to add different classes to your game, and how to add game modes using Fornite editor. By the end of this tutorial, you should be very comfortable on creating your own worlds in Fornite. Learn to create an action game in Unreal Engine 5. Start the first lesson for free at unfgames.com. The first thing we need to do is to download the Unreal Editor for Fornite, which you can find here in the store. You can click Get It Now. I already have it. Here I have both Fornite and Unreal Editor. So I will launch Unreal Editor and wait for it to open. And you will see like this screen that is loading. It's going to take some time, don't worry. And you see that it will be using the Unreal Engine version 5.1. Now, this editor will be a simplified version of the real Unreal Editor. So now, when you have this, you will see a window here. You will have a news window. You can just close it. And then you will have this project browser window. Now, each project, in theory, it's a new it's like a new project, like you can share with your friends, right? So you can go to the templates here, like you can go to simple, empty, or you can have some islands, or you can use some of the examples to play with the tool to see what can you do with it. Now, in my case, I'm gonna create one in the burst parkour. I'm gonna call it my test project 2. Something like that, and then just click create. So now we are in Unreal Editor. The first thing that I will show you is how to navigate around. This big screen you see here is the viewport. The viewport is the representation of the game, but inside the engine, right? It's basically how it will look like. Now, let me show you how you can move around. If you hold the right mouse click and look around, you can just rotate, right? And then how do you move? You can still holding the right mouse click and then press W, S, A, D, WASD, basically like a shooter, right? You can just hold it like this, right? If you click the mouse wheel down at the same time, you will go slower. And if you scroll up with the mouse wheel, you will go faster. Now, it's pretty much like you're flying, like in a spaceship or something like that. I really like it. So another thing you can do is to left click and you can just move around. Kind of like another spaceship, right? You can just move into axes here. If you haven't noticed, the axes are down left here, X and Y, right? And if you use the middle mouse click, you can go up and down. Now, personally, my preferred method of navigating in the viewport is with the right mouse click and then use the WASD to move around, which should give me the most amount of control where I want to go. Now, what else you have here? Well, if you click here, you will see that I have an object. And suddenly, this screen here that updates shows me new information. I can go like this to make it bigger or smaller. And what you have here is the outliner. It's basically a list of actors that are in the level. An actor is basically any object that you can put in the viewport. Think of it like a class, right? Like, oh, you can put like an object like this. You can put a weapon. You can put a weapon spawner. Anything that you can imagine you can put here, it's an actor, okay? Lights, everything. So if you click on one, you will see here that you have the details panel, you will have the name of the actor, and you will have a bunch of properties. For example, you have the location, which all the actors have because they need a position in the world. You can change this X value, this Y value, and this C value here. Now, if you move objects here, you don't want to use this all the time. This is for very specific cases, like you can rotate and do a lot of things, right? What you can do is to use the gizmo here. Now, if you see in the top right corner here, I have a bunch of options. By default, the translate objects is on, but if you don't see it, it's because maybe you have the Q mode, the select objects. So W for translate. Okay, I can just translate here and I can just move it around. I can click here to rotate. I can alternatively press E, or I can scale it here. Just like that. I can make it smaller or bigger. Okay, now I don't usually click here. Normally I like to use my shortcuts, so I use WER. And this is how you usually move here, rotate around, make it bigger, smaller, anything you want to do. Okay, now what if I want to move the object in this direction? Basically the rotation which I just rotate, right? Well, there is a button here that is called world and local. World means the world coordinates, and local means the local coordinates of the object. So if I click on this, you see that my gizmo changes, and now this will move into the direction that the object is rotating. So for example, if I put 0 here on all my values, I will have the same rotation that I have when I have my world coordinates. Okay, that's pretty much it. Then you have the grid. The grid is basically how you want to stack the objects. 124, for example, I can just go here and I will snap in 124 units. I can go down and basically click 4, 4 and 4. I can put 64 if I want, or I can just click here and you will see that the blue thing is gone and I can just move it freely. Okay, let me just go back to 4, click on this. The same thing can be done for the rotation, the scale. You can remove it if you want and you will have a more free rotation value, and also the scale. So if you want it, you can leave it like that. If not, it's okay. So the next thing I will show you is different ways that you can pre-visualize the viewport, because you can just basically change different modes. So we have this viewport here, but if you click here, you will see that I actually can have more. This is like a top view, the right view, and the back view. Now, if you want to open this up, you can just click here and you will see that it's now big. Now, this doesn't give us much information. This is why you can also change here to different modes, like unlit and lit mode, so you can check more clearly how it looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna work mostly on the big screen. I barely use the other ones, to be honest. So you can do the same here. You can go to unlit to check how the colors work without any lining. You can go to wireframe to check the poly count. You can go to detail lining to check how the lining works only without the colors, and the lining only, which it's only the lights without the details like the normals and this kind of stuff. Okay, so you can check like really where the shadows are. All these things are so common that they have a shortcut from Alt 4, Alt 3, Alt 2, Alt 5, Alt 6. And basically Alt 4 is the mode that you will be in the most time. But unlit mode, it's also good. If your computer it's a little bit slow, unlit mode will give you like a faster performance. Okay. The next thing I want to show you is the content browser. So let's go to that. Now, before I show you the content browser, I need to show you how to add objects, because you already have a lot of objects here, but how can you add some of objects that you want? If you go here to the green plus icon, you can add some basic things. For example, you can add an actor, which you haven't really specified like what does this does, right? So let's just delete it. You can add a point light, which is basically a light. Okay, And you can play with the properties here. For example, the intensity. You can change the lights. Okay, you can change the radius, which it influences. You can change if it's movable. Basically, you can move the light and it will have dynamic lighting. If it's stationary, it will stay in the place, but it will have still like nice shadows. Okay. The next thing you can do, you can put different types of lights. We will check those in a moment where we create our island. You can create cinematics. You can create a cinema camera actor here. For example, you can have like a nice shot here. Okay, and if you want to visualize how this camera works, you can go here, go to Cine Camera Actor, and you can even move around until you have the shot you want, something like this, for example. And then you can click here to eject, and you will be good to go. Okay, so what else you can go here? You can create shapes, so you can grab a cube here. Okay. If you want to focus on the cube, like for example, it's very hard for you, like you want to move around and then move it, it's very easy. You can just press F to focus, and now with Alt and left mouse click, you will be able to rotate around. And with Alt and right mouse click, you will be able to zoom in and out, just like that. Okay. Now here's a quick tip for you. If you move objects, you don't need to move the camera then, and let's say you want to move the object here, you will need to move the object here, move the camera again, and move it here. There's a better way to do that. You can just move the object, and while moving it, hold Shift, and the camera will move with you. So if I keep holding Shift, I can just move the object. Sometimes this mode is handy. Okay. Another shortcut for you, if you want to duplicate objects, you don't need to go to the outliner, right click, and there should be an option to duplicate. Yes. Duplicate here, and then you have a new object. You can also Control D, and then you will have another object. Let me press delete here. You can actually use Alt, which is what I like to do. Alt click, Alt click, Alt click. Okay, so what else you can put here? You can put the sky atmosphere. A lot of these actors we will check later, and some volumes for you. Great. So what are we gonna do now is to create our own island. But before that, I want to show you how to play this game. Okay, so you need to click here. Let's save everything with Ctrl-Shift-S, and then go to launch session. Now, this session is gonna take some time, so I'm gonna pause the video and come back when everything is already loaded. Now you will see this screen when it loads, and after it's connected, there you go. Now, you are on edit mode. By default, we're not playing yet the game. So the thing is, you can also edit some things here. Okay, so you can just move around and play. But the cool thing about this is, let me show you. Let me go back to Unreal. And it will be a little bit slow now because I'm having the Fornite there. I can use, for example, I can move this thing. I can alt click and put it here. Okay, and maybe I can put a cube here, a sphere, sorry. And let me open it. And now I can go to the Fornite editor, and you will see that everything is updated at the same time. So now this is a little bit heavy in performance. So if you have like a really slow computer, maybe a little bit overkill for your computer to have two editors open, but it's really nice if you have, especially like two monitors. You can have the game on one monitor and the editor on the other one, and you can just edit the game. Now, how can you play the game? Let's go back here to our editor, and we just need to start game. Now, push changes here will actually refresh the changes on the cloud, right? So let's just play now. I don't have much time. I need to grab this. Got one battery. On default, I forgot to build my staff. So let's just try one more time. Let's see if I'm good at this game or not. I'm not really. Oh, I don't have wood. Anyway, you can play your game here. As you can see, I don't play Fortnite that much, so I'm pretty bad. But the objective of this game is to basically put the batteries there. And why I can't build this? Can you? Someone in the comments tell me why I cannot build this thing here. I should, right? Yeah, I really should. But anyway, this is how you play your game. And the default, if you're editing, as you can see, my game, it's a little bit slow now. If you put this thing here, you won't see it here. Now, you need to end the game. And if you don't see the changes, you need to push the changes, or just move it again. Just close. I want to close this. Okay, so basically, you just end the game, and that's it. I believe it will go to Fortnite. So let's create another project. Okay, so this project was to show off how to move around, how to get comfortable with the Unreal Editor, but let's just create our own island. Okay, so let's create a new project. Let's go to File. Let's go to New Project. And here, now I want to show you how to create the island yourself. Okay, so by default, you have a lot of presets you can play with. Okay, so let me just choose the blank one, right? Just empty level, right? So let's just call my tutorial island. Okay, sorry for that. Let you go. Leave this thing here and just create, and it will open the new project. Okay, so the blank project looks like this. Now, it actually has some things here, like, for example, some meshes here. By the way, a mesh is a 3D model that you can put in the world, and it will have collision. If you press Alt-C, you will see that you can see the collision. I believe you can go here to Alt-C to see the collision. Okay, you can also double-click on this. Oh, I cannot open this one. Okay, anyway, let's just delete those for now. Okay, what I have here, it's a spawner, because basically you don't want the player to fall from the sky. It will spawn from here. Okay, it will spawn any team. So what we will do is to go to the selection mode and then go to landscape. And the landscape mode, it's a mode that allows you to basically, create landscapes, right? You can change a lot of things here. You can see here, if you click here, this is the content browser. I know I haven't shown you this. This is a super important part. You can open this by Control Space. You will see that you have the landscape here. And if you go here, maybe there should be other materials that you can use, right? Perhaps here. Anyway, we're gonna use this landscape material that comes here by default. I think it's really nice. You can change the size of this. You can change, like, for example, like, instead of 63 quads, you can put 127, and it will become bigger. And if you make it even bigger, it will just be a bigger island, right? Let's just go back to the defaults. I don't want it to be so big for the example. And let's just click Create. And just like that, we have created our landscape. Now, by default, our landscape is like too big, right? So let's just move it now. In the outliner, we can just, or actually, instead of moving the landscape, let's just move these guys up. If you move them and press End key, just the End key, instead of just trying to figure out where is the floor, because it's a little bit hard with the grass here, you can just press the End key and you will have your object snapped to the ground. Okay, so what can you do here? Well, you need to go to the landscape mode here in the selection. You can also press Shift 2. And you can have different modes here that you can use. I will show you the most common ones so you can start creating your own islands. Okay. Of course, the first one is the sculpt mode. So you can reduce the strength if you want or increase it. And just like that, you will see that as I sculpt my landscape, you will see that I'm basically adding more clay here, right? You can increase the strength to have like something like this, like a super big mountain, right? Or you can also go to the smooth here and smooth things out just like that. Okay, let me go back here and let me just sculpt a little bit. Try to play with the tool. The best way to learn something is to use it and play with it. So I will just sculpt some things here, like for example, maybe my player will start from here. Let's put two of them because I really don't know which one will start. And let's go back here to landscape. Sorry, by the way, I pressed Shift 1 to go to the selection mode. Sorry, excuse my manners. And then Shift 2 to go back to the landscape. So here I can just go back here. And basically I will start from here and I will go to this place. Now, I want some elevation in my game. So what I can do is basically put a ramp here. And what a ramp does is the first click you put is the beginning of the ramp, and the last click is basically the end of it. So if let me go back to the defaults here, I can just move this thing, and if you want to move it around, you can always do it by just moving things like that a little bit. And when you're happy, you can just press Enter, and you will have a ramp here. Now, this ramp takes you nowhere. So let's put a floor here. No, what I can do is basically sculpt here little by little, like until I reach the top. But there is actually a better way to do that is by using the flatten tool here. I can just flatten things out here. And I can have like a small platform that I can use. That's great. So now what I can do is smooth this area. So I can just click here, smooth a little bit, and now I will have a smooth transition to go here. Now let's find a way to go down. I know you can jump, but let's just make it like that. There you go. Beautiful. So what else you can do? You can add some noise, for example. I can just click here. Let me just add some noise. And that's a lot of noise actually. And basically you can play with this too. Basically it will sculpt up and down until you have like, it's very noisy, right? If you don't know what I'm doing, behind the scenes, this is a height map. It's a texture that is going up and going down. And basically it's white when it goes up and it's black when it goes down. And the noise is basically a texture that has like multiple black and white values, and basically it will just sculpt whatever else. Okay, you can smooth things out if you don't want, or you can use the flatten tool, which you already learned and you are very familiar with, to basically create new things here. Great. So those are the basics. There are a lot of things here, like for example, you can, I think you can copy here. Yeah, you can go here, copy data to Gizmo. Actually, I need to make it a little bit bigger. You go copy data. And then I can just move it around and Control V to paste it. Now, if I go here, you will see that I have the same one. You can Control C and Control V if you want it. You can actually do that. Okay. That's it for our landscape. It's not the prettiest level design, but you know, it's there. The next thing we're gonna do is to add some props to this. Now, our game looks very pretty, but we can actually make it prettier by using props. Props are a great way to make your game stand out and look like really like awesome. So we need to use the content browser for this. If I press Control Space, you will see that I have my content browser here. I was looking for some rocks here, and I will just show you how to get here in a minute. But first, if you go to Window, Content Browser, and click here, you also have another content browser. You can have as many as you want. Well, not as many as you want. You technically only can have 4. So here, if you go to Fornite, this will be all the folders that come with any project that you create will come with these folders. So for example, you can go to props, you can go to rent, and you will see that you have a lot of assets here. For example, I can go here and drag this, go to my island, and just put this thing here. I can go here, press End, and it will be in place, just like that. Okay? Oh, let me change this. I don't want 90 degrees to rotate things. There you go. I can go here to the local. Just basically, I can have something like this. For some reason, it always rotates there. But anyway, you can drag a lot of props here. So what I want to do is to basically put some rocks here that I can use in my landscape. So how can I find it? If you go here, you basically have these folders. Props, it's where you will find like all the props and all these things. Meshes, it's basically just some meshes here that you don't really need. But environment, it's like some things that you can use. We will take a look at those later. Prefabs are like combinations of things that props that are laid down together. For example, let's grab this mansion here and let's just put it here. And it may take a while because it's a lot of objects. There you go. There's your mansion. So we can put the mansion here. Now, the mansion, you can actually move these things, and you know, as a Fortnite player, you may be used to move things around. So let's just go here to the parent here in the outliner. And what we can do is to rotate this and put it like here, for example. Like, yeah, I have my mansion here. Okay, and let me just try to move it a little bit here, just so that, there you go. Perfect. You don't want to show the floor. Actually, let's just remove this thing. There you go. A little bit more. Perfect. So that's your mansion. Now you see that you have the landscape here and everything. If you want, you can just leave it like that, but you can always go here and then just, like, for example, do the flatten tool. Make it a little bit small, and then I can just add these areas that were removed from, okay, from my prop here. Nice. You can find a lot of props here. Now, if you don't find it, like for example, like this one, you really like it, you can just right click, set color, and you can put a new color. Like, for example, you can put like blue, or maybe this color, maybe better. Well, so now I know, oh, it's here, right? You can also add to favorites, and you will have like favorites here. Yeah, which is great. I should have done that before. You also have like different types of presets that allows you to modify these meshes faster. So now that we have a look on the content browser, now let's, I promise you, let's add some rocks here. So I will just go here, and I already found some rocks. If you want to take a look at where this is, This is a modular rock gallery lava. If you don't know how to find it, just type rock. Okay, and if I put it here, you will see all the assets that are related to rocks. In my case, for example, I wanna go here. I can just go to this one and just place it here. There you go. And you can just rotate things around until you find something you like. You can always go here. You can scale things up if you want. Do not scale too much, otherwise it will become like a little bit collisions are not gonna work that well, but a little bit it's fine. Like 1.5 scale, it's like totally fine. You can keep adding rocks. Actually, you can use this thing like a lot of JRPGs use, like they use the floating rocks here. Like you can just put them in position. And now there is a trick I wanna give you. Like let's say I'm just using this rock here, and let me add another one. Let's just go here. There you go. That's what I want. So I can just put this one here. I don't need to grab another one and put it here, for example. That's a little bit too much work for me. So what I can do is to just grab one of this and then just alt click and rotate. And because you rotate the object, it's very, very easy for you not to notice that it's the same one. Can you notice it's the same one? Not really, right? Maybe a little bit. But to be honest, it's very hard to spot, right? So you can use these tricks to basically put any kind of rocks. And as you can see, I have like different biomes for my rocks, like this one and this one, for example, for snow. Let's try to find something that is not like, yeah, this ones look fine to me. You can put this one here. You can rotate around, and then you can put one of this like this. So just by doing that, you can have a lot of rocks. You don't really want to have like this thing here in your environment. I know it doesn't look bad at all, but if you put like props here, and this looks the same, so I will just rotate it, and there you go, two different objects that you don't know they're different. Okay, and then you can put something like this. Hey, you can just play with this until you have something that you like. So I will just keep putting some rocks in my environment. I don't want you to get bored by looking at me and just how I put rocks. So let's just go here, and what I'm gonna do next is to add a little bit of objects in my scene. Okay, so let's save this. We don't want to lose this. And there you go. There is one thing I want to do before I keep adding some props. I'm gonna show you how to add some water. If you go to control space here, and you go to environment and go to water, you will see that you can have different types of water. For example, you can go to the ocean here, and what will happen is that everything will turn into water, right? Now, the reason is, if you see here, there is a white handle here that I can move around. So I can just go ahead and move this thing here, for example. Do you want to add another spline point? Right click here and add spline point here. And now you can move this thing here. Something like that. And then I can just move around here, for example, or maybe I don't want this area, you know? And then I can just go back. There you go. I can add another spline point here. There you go. So now I have my island here. Now, you can you don't necessarily need to use this. You can delete it if you want, but I thought it was a nice way to show you some things. I can also add a lake. For example, I can add a lake here. And what I can do is just to move it down. And you will see that my lake is here. Now, as just like I did before, I can just choose the handoffs and move it like this. I can just move it just like this here. And if you see some like intersections, or things like that, that's because you're putting it in a surface where it may not be flat and it's trying to flatten this even more. Okay, so thing to keep in mind here in the landscape, you will create a new water layer where if you remove it, then it's gone, right? So just keep that in mind. Okay, you can also place rivers, or you can place a swimming pool. Let's do this. Let's do this. We must do this. Let's put a swimming pool here. What exactly does this is? Okay, I can just move this thing, I guess. I wonder what a swimming pool does. I guess we will find out in the game. But anyway, let's just delete it. I want to show you how to add water. And there's a lot of things like river and this kind of stuff. We can actually put a waterfall here. So let's type waterfall. And you will see that I have some meshes here that I can use. I can just grab one of these, for example, this one, and I can just put it here. There you go. And let me just put it like in position, just like this. And now we can just go back to this one. Let's go and add a new spline point here. Let's put it here. Add another spline point here. There you go. And now you have your waterfall. Great. This is the way you can add water in Fortnite. Okay, to finish our map, let's just add some props. I can just keep on forever and ever. I'm sure you can do a better job than me on this. So I have some props here that I want to use. I have the wood shanty. Okay, it's here. I can just click on this and put it here. Okay, that's pretty much what I want to do, actually. What else we have here? Actually, everything in the wood shanty, I really like it. So I'm just gonna put some props here because it's just really nice when you add some props into your game. It really comes alive. Let's add another one. For example, this one for our, I don't know who will put a dog in a, in a lake like this. But anyway, it's doable. They did it. And if you see things like this, you can just go to the landscape and just flatten things out here. Just flatten things out. Okay. And just make sure you go here to the wood shanty and just, yeah, something like that. Okay. There you go. Let's go back again. We can go to this one. And this is a really good example of where you want to, instead of moving this, you want to update the landscape here. You can go to the sculpt. And actually, I didn't show you, but you can actually add layers. You can create a new one here. And what you can do is just flatten things out. So for example, I want to flatten this area like this. And you will find that I'm flattening all of this. I will just increase the tool strength and the brush size, just so that everything is nice and clean. Just flatten this out. There you go. Now I can go here. Make sure you grab the parent, okay? There you go. The shrinking house going here. Now, talking about shrinking houses, it may be a good idea that you put the water here, right? But anyway, let's just leave it. Let's just leave it like that. Let's just add a bunch of others. We have the castle here. We can add the castle keep or the castle fortress, we can just put it somewhere here. And let's see, if we add some gameplay into this, we will have some. Now, guys, this is a terrible level design. I'm just trying to show you the basics so that you are familiar with this, and then you can create your own stuff. This path is open, just so you know. You must close it. You must close it, right? You don't want the player to go there unless you want. You must close this path, and the easiest way is just using props. There you go. You shall not pass. Okay. Now, why also this is terrible? Because I'm not giving any sign that player that he should go here. But anyway, another topic for another day. Now that I have some props here, I feel like I wanna add some gameplay. So let's do that. So before we put some rules in our game, I wanna show you what a device is. If I control space here, you will see that I have a device folder here behind the Fornite one. Here is all the fun stuff, right? Like, for example, you can have a cannon here. Okay. And you can press end if you want, put it there. Or you can just have the cannon. What else you can have? Well, you can have the boat spawner. Let's try to put the boat here. I don't know if it will be able to actually use it, but we will see. So this is the boat spawner. Will be here. Okay. What else you have? Oh, you have a truck. You have a lot of things that, if you're familiar with Fortnite, at least more than me, you will be much more used to what kind of items you can get in Fortnite. For example, you can get this motorbike here and just truck here, put it there. And if I'm a little bit laggy, that is because I have my game also here. If you can see, I have my cannon, and you can actually use this. You can actually rotate it if you want. But the thing is, I'm on edit mode here. If you see here, I'm on edit mode, which means I'm not playing, I'm just editing. So if I go here, I can just change all the properties of this, like the health, the whatever, like respawn time, any kind of logic that I want to put to this cannon, I can use it. But in this case, like, I don't need it, so I can just steer the cannon, exit, and that's it. Okay, and if I want to customize, I can just press E, and you will see that it's like, oh, visible in-game, on and off. Okay, enable during phase, enable respawn, all these properties here, you will find that I actually have them here. So it depends on you where you wanna use them. In my case, I will just start the game and see what happens now. When I start the game, I can just steer the cannon. It looks like we're in the swamp. That is because my water, it's too, what to say? My water is there. Now there you will see that my water, I cannot touch it. So let's just go, keep running. Let's see if we can use the boat. I'm really not sure. I really don't think so. And why we have the water there is because I have the ocean there. And it's like, see, drive. Oh, we can actually do it. That's nice. Well, what happens if we go here? Oh, we can actually drive it anywhere. Except here where our ocean, it's gone. And you can also have the motorbike there. Let's go and drive it. Now, you see that, let's end the game. So we can go to edit mode. You see that my landscape is here. So I will just go to the ocean and just drag it down a little bit like that. There you go. That's all I need. So now my ocean It's not there. Now, you can play with these spawners if you want. There are a lot of them that you can use, and it will make your game fun. I believe there was one really fun, like air. Yeah, there you go. For example, we can put an air here. Just drag it, and you can change like a lot of things here. For example, this can help me to go up, and things like this nature you can also add to your level. Every game has rules, and in Fornite Editor, by default, when you create a map, if you go to the outliner, you will see that you have an island settings. Now, if you don't have this, it's because you can actually grab this. If you type just here island, you will see that you have this blueprint. You can just drag it here. But let's use Control C. This is my island settings. Basically, what it is, it's the settings I have for my game. If I go here, see where my island settings, I can go here, go to my island, go to settings. Actually, no, not here. Oh, I didn't push the changes. Sorry. The idea is that you can put all your properties of your game and put them there, right? So for example, how many players you want? Oh, I want 16 players. How many teams? Well, let's just go for team index. Let's have 2 teams. Team size, dynamic. We can split evenly. For example, if someone joins, or someone already has 3 and I have 2, this player will join my game. Class, we will touch about this later, but let's just go how many rounds you want. If you go to expectating, if it's full, okay, let's go down. Game win condition. We can put like most scores wins, eliminations to end, score to end. Maybe we can put 3, like 3 points to win. Join in progress, respawn type individual. You can put like in waves, so like everyone starts like at the same time. Okay. If you go down, you can go to the game settings like time of the day, what time you want the day, the brightness, and all these things. Okay, let's just go down. We can also have infinite ammo if you want, and all these things like environmental damage, like you can have environmental damage like explosions or whatever. There must be a fall damage there. Auto pickup items, ammo, traps, and everything. You can leave it at default. Fall damage, you can put it on if you want. Gravity, you can put it like very high or whatever. And there is just so many things you can play with this. For example, you have the UI, you have the countdown, and let's just say how much countdown I want. Like I can put the round score, display time like 3 seconds, maybe. And then I can show top center is score hot. That's pretty much it. All right. So basically, those are the rules of my game. Now, what I want to have is like a little capture the flag game. So let's create some classes so we can use them. So let's create a class for our character. By default, when we start with a pickaxe and all this stuff. So what we're going to do is to go to device and press class. And here you can put a class designer. You can go here and you can put it somewhere where you won't see it in the game, right? So basically you can design a class here. For example, the class name will be my, I don't know, my Holy Knight. Okay. And class identifier, it will be the number 1. Grant items on respawn. No, yeah, you could do that. And let's just put an item list. What kind of items you want to give to him? Well, let's check. Let's give him some rocket launcher. What else we can give him? Is there a sword in this game? I don't think so, right? Oh, you have a sword. Okay, so you have a sword and a rocket launcher, and that's it. Equip granted item, but do not skip. You can put like the first item if you want. So that's it. Now, if you want to play with this class, let's go to our island settings. And in teams, you can put the default class identifier, put the class slot, and put the number 1, because number 1 is the class that we created, right? So let's push the changes, save, and we can start the game again. Just wait a little bit, and then we will be able to try it out. Session updating. And while it waits, what I recommend you is to try all these devices available for you. Like for example, a campfire can heal nearby players. All of these things have basically a description that you can use. For example, a trap or whatever. It's just really nice. So looks like it's taking that some time. So I will pause the video and come back when it's finished. Okay, so it's finished. Let's start the game. You can either start the game here or you can start the game here. I will just do it here just for the sake of showing you a different way. So we start the game and you see that now we have our teams, right? The blue team and the red team. And we also start with a rocket launcher. And if we go here, we also have sword, which we told the game, oh, I want to use this class. And when I start the game, you will automatically equip this class. Wow, this is amazing. I didn't know it was that good. Oh, it's okay. We cannot destroy it. Can we destroy this? Let's check. I don't think so. Is this something you can actually get in the game? It's so powerful. Anyway, so what I want to do now is to put some classes here that allow me to have, there must be a winning condition, right? And our winning conditions will be to capture the enemy flag. Okay, so we will do that now. So let's add the flag for the player to pick it up. Now you can put item spawner, and let's see. There you go. Capture item spawner is an item that you can actually grab and capture. Okay, so what can you do here? So this flag will be for my team, right? So friendly team, okay, capture by friendly team. Direct color, we can put a team color here. Return drop items, like maybe after 5 seconds. If you drop it, the flag will spawn here again. Now let's just put the sound here. The item. In this case, we want the flag, so we will put the flag here. There you go. Now you have the flag. A score value, like maybe it gives you 1 point to take this. I don't know. And that's pretty much it. So now we can try it out. If we start the game, let's see if it's there. If I don't push the changes, yeah, I don't really need to push the changes. It's there. As you can see, we don't have the water thing. Very annoying. Let's go here, take flag, and we can take it, right? So what if I make this hostile team, right? What if I make that thing like that? Just put end game. If I put this hostile team, it will mean that only the enemy can capture it. So let's just put one here. No, let's just put one flag here. You can capture here, and another flag you can capture here. Actually, it will be a good idea to, put it there or something. But anyway, so this one will be captured by friendly team, and this one will be captured by hostile team. And you will have the team color. And that's it. That's it. So let's start the game again. And I should have put a like a bicycle or something to go there faster. Anyway, let's go there. And now it's spring. That's the blue flag. Actually, those two are the blue flags, which means we only have one team, right? Take flag. I can take it. I can drop it. And the flag has returned. And I can also take this flag, which is an issue. Okay, let's fix that now. Okay, to fix this issue, we only need to go here. And instead of having the friendly team here, it can only be captured by hostile teams. And the friendly team will be number 2. Okay, this is number 2. And it can only be captured by hostile teams. And this is team index number 1, number 3, number 4. Actually, everything has its own color already. So I will be team number 1, and it will be captured by hostile teams. Okay, so great. Now let's start, but this time I won't make the mistake, and I will put bike. Yeah, there you go. Oh, let's start the game. Oh, my bike is there. Right? Actually, should like doing that. Okay, let's get out of here. Like, this is the flag number 1. I cannot take it. So let's go to take the flag, the enemy flag. I can take the enemy flag, but I cannot take my friendly flag. And my objective should be to take the enemy flag to, like, for example, here. I need to put it inside, and bam, there we go. Like, have a point here. So likely for us, Fornite already comes with a capture area actor where we can place our flag. So let's use Control Space here, and you can find capture area. So let's just drag this here. And now, before we use it, we need to change some properties here. So the color is okay. We don't really need to change it. Item filter, no need to change. Item delivery score, it will give us 1 point when we deliver the flag. Sport taking control, we don't really need it. Count as objective, yes. Show objective in HUD, yes. Now, the item list. The item list is the list of items that you can actually place here. So we're going to put the flag. We have the flag, so we can put it there. Okay, so a starting team index will be 1, which is my team, the ally team. Then go to team relationship color here. Okay, then the capture height, just leave it like that. Can receive item from allies, yes. And enemies contest scoring, if you want. In my case, I don't have any friends to play with this, which is sad, but you can have the enemies step on here and stop you from scoring. Okay, can be captured by team ally, the good team, because I'm the good guy. Okay, then control time 0, and that's pretty much it. Now, HUD elements, show capture progress HUD. Yes, we're gonna show the HUD. We're gonna choose a beacon. And we can put an arrow here. Can put it a little bit bigger. Okay, and then just leave it like that. Now, by default, this won't work because we need to tell the conditions that, hey, I need to activate this when I capture the flag. So we're gonna do that now. We're gonna put enable here, and you will see this drop icon. We can click here and put the flag, and you will see that on item captured, on item picked up, sorry, you can enable this. You can do the same here on item. If the item is captured, disable, put another one, if the item is dropped, is returned, we disable this. So now let's save, push the changes, and we will try our game. Okay, so let's start the game. You can see that I have my UI working there. I know that my objective is there, which is a little bit confusing because I know I have to capture the flag first. So let's just go here, capture this enemy flag. I got the enemy flag, and now I need to go to the capture area. You go, and I come here, and I score a point. That's it. So I don't really see the score because I haven't put any hat. So maybe I can do that next. Okay, so let's try it out. Game is in progress. We did the score. For some reason, you see like the -1. Let's grab our flag here. Let's take it. Let's go to the objective. It's there. There you go. +2 score. Now, somehow I didn't put the score there. Maybe I did something wrong. But in any case, this is like a brief overview of how to use Fornite Editor. We've taken a look at how to navigate inside Unreal, how to create objects, how different viewports modes work, how to use prefabs, how to use models, how to create landscapes, how to create water, how to add objects, devices, how to add classes for the player. A lot of this stuff.